Do you like football? Do you remember Barry Switzer? Switzer is the former football coach of the Oklahoma Sooners and the Dallas Cowboys. You might remember the press conference when he was introduced as the Cowboys coach in 1994 when he said, "We got a job to do and we're gonna do it, baby!" It was very surprising. But for now, let's go back to 1981, specifically to a high school track meet at the University of Oklahoma, where Switzer found himself sitting behind George Platt, the CEO of Texas International Company, and his wife Linda, when Switzer overheard something very interesting. "So last week we spoke to the people in Morgan Stanley about acquiring Phoenix Resources Company. That's right, Texas International may well acquire Phoenix Resources." Then Switzer got an idea that burned with the heat of 1,000 suns. But to implement his idea, he needed some help. So later in the day, on June 6th, he had dinner with his friend Sedwin Kennedy. "Sedwin is like this. Texas International is going to buy Phoenix Resources. I overheard it from an inside source." "Barry, that's the dag-nabbitest thing I've heard all day. What we need to do is buy some stock in Phoenix, fast as a jackrabbit." "Sedwin, you're as right as an Arkansas toothpick." The next day, Sedwin Kennedy called his friend Harold Deem. "Harold, how you doing, your old mother scratcher?" "I'm great, just watching the Rugrats here, Sedwin." "Well, listen, Harold. Barry told me Texas International is about to buy Phoenix Resources. We need to buy some Phoenix shares, quick as a rattlesnake on jackslap."
"Well, holy..."
Then Switzer called his friend Lee Allen Smith. These guys didn't have enough money to buy all the shares they wanted, so they went to see their friend Harold Hodges. Switzer told him the story, but didn't name the precise source of the information. Hodges said, "That's just fine, boys. I don't need to know anything more because you're good friends of mine and I often trade on information of this nature." Then Switzer and Smith told another friend, Robert Hoover, about the Phoenix news at a party Hoover was having at his house. Over the next 2 days, Hodges told his friend Robert Amex about the acquisition. They didn't know which company's share price would benefit, so Hodges told Amex to buy shares in both, which he did. Hoover agreed to buy shares in Phoenix, keeping half the profits for himself and giving 25% each to Switzer and Smith. And Kennedy and Deem agreed to buy Phoenix shares in an investment partnership the two of them had separately. So at the end of the day, who is liable for insider trading? We have a lot of candidates here. The way these guys were behaving, surely they were insider trading. Actually, none of them were liable. Remember back at the beginning that Switzer only overheard the conversation between the Platts. George Platt absolutely should have been more careful with the information about the merger. And you should too in, say, a subway car or a movie theater. But Platt did not breach a fiduciary duty to Texas International or Phoenix or anybody else by speaking too loudly at the track meet. Switzer lucked into the information about the Phoenix acquisition. He didn't steal it, and Platt did not breach a fiduciary duty in giving it to him. So without an underlying breach of fiduciary duty, these guys are not liable. They're happy. As of today, Switzer has won 12 Big 8 titles, 3 national championships, and 1 Super Bowl. We are tied only in insider trading convictions at 0 apiece.